Wind energy has been used throughout recorded history. By the late 1920s, more than 6 million wind machines were at work in rural America before utilities wired the countryside. As utilities grew, we became increasingly dependent on oil, cheap oil, to fuel our industrial economy. Then, the energy crisis. But it wasn't a shortage of energy. It was a shortage of cheap oil. The time had come to expand the way we think about energy. In 1974, the U.S. Department of Energy began the search for new energy technologies to supplement oil. Wind power was reevaluated. The potential of wind energy was found to be impressive. Wind was a technology that required no major scientific breakthroughs. It was close to being economic. It provided many environmental benefits, and the resulting energy could be fed directly into utility systems. A Department of Energy study concluded that wind could provide up to 10% of America's electrical needs, a level greater than our hydroelectric capability. Why is it then that utilities are not rushing into this new energy technology? Heavy regulations and financial constraints have prevented the utilities from considering any new energy source. In 1979, Wayne Van Dyke formed Windfarms Ltd. Windfarms is a technical and financial bridge between this new technology and energy-short utilities. Windfarms' goal is to build and operate large clusters of wind turbines called wind farms and sell the resulting electricity to utilities under long-term contracts. Wayne Van Dyke.
The real opportunity for wind energy is to feed into the national grid, to feed into the electric companies. And we see a point in the future when wind energy projects will become an integral part of many utility systems. The wind energy becomes a fuel saver. It actually saves fuel that you would have had to burn if you were operating an oil-fired power plant. Oil plants can react very quickly when the wind isn't blowing. So they are ideally suited for integration with wind farm projects.
In less than 3 years, Windfarms has signed utility contracts for projects totaling over $1 billion. 30 miles from Honolulu, at Kahuku Point, Windfarms is working on an 80-megawatt project for Hawaiian Electric Company. 20 giant wind turbines costing $250 million will convert the trade winds into enough electricity for almost 100,000 people. And in 1981, Windfarms entered into a 350-megawatt contract with Pacific Gas and Electric Company. This project, eventually costing over $700 million, will consist of 100 huge turbines. Bart Shackelford is president of Pacific Gas and Electric Company.
Our general perception of the requirement for electric energy over the next 20 to 30 years is that we're going to need all the different kinds of energy resources that we can develop. And so we're happy that a firm like Windfarms is getting into this market. The prices that are being proposed for energy, for the wind energy, are such that they should permit us to reduce our use of expensive and scarce oil and gas over the life of this project.
Windfarms' ability to finance such large projects is enhanced greatly through its association with First Boston Corporation, one of Wall Street's most prestigious investment banking firms. Jack Larry is the managing director of First Boston.
Windfarms' role is to put together wind energy projects which sell power to the utility company, who is obligated only to pay for that power if it's delivered, and therefore avoids any technological or financial risk on the one hand, and the other hand, by placing orders for wind turbines from the manufacturer, he gives the manufacturer confidence that there is a market for wind turbines, and therefore the manufacturer is willing to commit that wind turbine to production. Wind farms, in turn, will finance these projects on what we call a project financing basis, where investors will participate who are willing to accept the risk associated with development in return for a higher return on his investment. So this allows wind farms to attract capital that would not normally be attracted to the utility industry.
Wind farms' progress towards demonstrating that wind power can be economic has also attracted the attention of Standard Oil of California. They have invested over $10 million in the company, which has grown to almost 40 people. They are a blend of highly successful people from many disciplines. Ivan Gold, Vice President and General Counsel, was the Assistant Public Utilities Commissioner for the state of Oregon, with extensive background in energy regulation and law. Rolf Lessig, Vice President of Engineering, is one of the most experienced engineers in wind energy technology. He was Chief Engineer on the General Electric Mod 1 turbine program. Chris Woodward, Vice President and Controller, came from Cooper Laboratories and has built wind farms' accounting and management information systems. Earl Davis, Director of Meteorology, was a senior meteorologist for Pacific Gas and Electric Company, involved in the siting of traditional power plants. And John Wilson, Vice President for Finance, came from financial positions in investment banking with Dean Witter, California Public Utilities, and most recently, Pacific Lumber. This is a team of people that is developing the technology of how to commercialize a new energy technology. Twice a year, the staff assembles to focus on the problems ahead. Ideas are exchanged and refined. Strategies evolve. Recently, the Reagan administration decided to withdraw federal funding for further wind energy research. This has come at a time when the wind industry is on the threshold of seeing the first truly economic wind turbine, the Mod 5. At 7.5 megawatts, it has 3 times the output of the existing Mod 2 technology. 7 years of momentum is now in jeopardy. Windfarms is responding by raising tens of millions in private capital. Windfarms will complete the program started by the U.S. government. Contracts with Boeing and General Electric will assure the completion of the Mod 5 design effort. In any pioneering effort, the support of key people can make the difference. Windfarms has been fortunate in attracting a highly skilled and influential board of directors. Ed Scarf, former president of Transamerica Corporation, provided Windfarms initial venture capital. Perrin Fay is vice president of corporate planning and development at Standard Oil of California and represents his company's substantial interest in wind farms.
Wind appears to us to be an extraordinarily condensed form of natural energy, condensed in the same sense that coal or oil and gas are, originally from the sun. And with that in mind, we looked around to see which was the preeminent wind energy company, and we concluded that Windfarms was. We think they're the leaders in the budding industry.
Windfarms is on the leading edge of a new energy technology. Wind, the first of a number of clean resources that will change the way we think about energy.